Hi ladies, good evening, how are you? Nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming. Talking about this parashot, talking about Vayishlach, Vayeshev, Miketz, Vayigash, even Vayechi. Very special parashot. We learn so much in this parashot, and I would like to maybe I'll call it a real princess. This class. We'll see how it's getting along. So once, like every fairy tale story, lived a little girl. Okay, and this little girl had a very big secret inside her. She had a wicked stepmother. Okay, a good-hearted father, but then she had to go through a lot of hardships, and it wasn't easy. But in the end, she got married with the most charming prince, and they lived happily ever after. You have any idea who am I talking about? Huh? Think. You have any idea who am I talking about?
Ourselves.
About this parashot. Ourselves.
Wait, she had a stepmother? Oh, wait. Osnat?
Osnat.
Okay.
So last week we read in the Pasha about a terrible thing that happened. כתוב ותצא דינה, בת לאה. She went outside to see how the other girls are playing, what they're doing, what they're wearing, where they're going. And then Shechem ben Hamor abducted her, raped her, and kept her in her house, and was trying to force her family to agree, okay, to marry her. Of course, Yaakov Avinu didn't like it, but he didn't say anything. But when the brothers, when the tribes came, and they found to know what happens, they were so upset. They were furious. They were so angry of what happened and what people may say about their family, that they wanted to kill this little girl that was born from this relationship, okay? And so no one would say that there is, God forbid, prostitution or adultery in the house of Yaakov. But then Yaakov did not agree, and they compromised. They decided that they would take her to the desert and leave her over there. So Yaakov, with one of his sons, it says Levi, went to the desert and left her there. And she got into one of the bushes, the thorn bushes in the desert, and just didn't want to leave the place. It says, what kind of thorn bushes we have in the desert? Something that's called sneh. And this is where she stayed. Sneh, the same letters almost of Osnat, and therefore she was named Osnat. What is a thorn bush? A thorn bush is a thorny bush. She had tough life. It wasn't an easy life that she went through. But the Midrash explains that the angel Gabriel, and some say angel Michael, took her from there and brought her to Egypt. Okay, he brought her to the doorstep of Potiphar, the minister of the butler of Pharaoh. Some say that his wife saw her and she took her because she saw a beautiful girl. Some say that Potiphar himself saw her and he was searching on her and he saw a special talisman on her. Because Yaakov, before he sent her away, he engraved her name on a gold plate, and he wrote that she is from a family of Yaakov. So anyone that would see her will know that she's a very comes from a very, very important and prominent family. Potiphar saw it and said, oh, that's a very important girl, okay, let's keep her. He took her home and they raised her. Some say that the name Osnat, she was called Osnat because of the ason, the terrible thing that happened, the way that she was born. Ason, tragedy, calamity. Ason, disaster. Who names his daughter after this type of a name? Huh? Disaster? Calamity? Tragedy? That was his name, Osnat. Now, when a girl starts with this kind of, when this is the starting point of the girl, where she's going to end up in, how she's going to continue her life. Usually, a girl that comes from a family that rejects her, okay, is a girl that suffers from separation anxiety. She's afraid that they will continue separating her from the important people in her life. She has a very, very low self-esteem and self-worth. She knows that she doesn't, she worth nothing. She has so many difficulties in all types of relationship. She tends to behave impulsive, a lot of drama in her life, a lot of crises, all kind of, the ups and downs, and it's very strong, this from one extreme to the other. She lies. She doesn't know what's normal. She doesn't know what's true. She doesn't know what's normal in her life. She judges herself very much without any mercy. She feels constant guilty. She cannot cope with criticism. Very hard for her to enjoy life, to enjoy things in her life. Constant needs to be in control, okay? Or that as a people would control her, it's to the two extremes. And so on, and so on, and so on. When Osnat came to Egypt, the only thing that the only identity that she had is this talisman that her grandfather put on her neck. That's it. That's the only thing that she had. It says that when Yosef became second to the king, so King Pharaoh, he put on him special garment clothing, and he put him on this special carriage, royal carriage, and he was going from place to place, in the town. He was riding, okay, and the Egyptian girls, they fell in love with him. He was a handsome guy, beautiful, beautiful looking person, and they just wanted some attention. So they would throw their valuables, jewelry, anything that they owned, they throw it on him so that he will pay attention, look back, and he never looked back. Osnat didn't have anything to throw. Now, a lot of people next to him, would she risk the only connection she has to her family? Would she throw this talisman, okay, on this carriage, not knowing if Yosef himself will be able to catch it, or maybe it will just get lost? And she did that, and she threw it. And Yosef, it says, all of a sudden saw Hebrew letters, and he was very much interested. He wanted to know, what is this? He saw it, and he was very interested who carried this talisman. And of course he called her, and he started to ask her, and he started to speak with her, who she is and where she's coming from, until he made 1 + 1 and was able to understand that this is Osnat. And the miraculous way that he met her, yeah, of course it says that he married her, and she became, the princess. She became the first lady, Osnat. Is it possible a girl that was in such a low state before, probably had very, very low feelings, bad, negative feelings, to become the princess? Once, there was an old Indian from the tribe of the Cherokees. He sat once with his grandson and was talking to him. He told him, every one of us, okay, has a battle that takes place within him. And this battle is like two wolves are fighting. One wolf is bad. He has the feelings of anger, jealousy, sadness, regret. He has desires. He has pride. He has self-pity, guilt feelings, grudge, inferior feelings, lies, he lies, ego, and so on and so on and so on. And then there is this good wolf. And the good wolf has inside him happiness, tranquility, love, hope, humility, kindness, pleasantness, empathy, generosity, honesty, compassion, trust. So the grandson was thinking, and then he asked his grandfather, so who wins, the good wolf or the bad wolf? Okay? What did the grandfather answer him? The one that you nurture the most. Mm-hmm. He's the one that wins. What's in you? What type of feelings you feel yourself with? Good feelings or negative feelings? Whenever we self-pity of ourselves, okay, we feel that we are the victim. A victim of all kind of circumstance. A victim of a spouse that is not respecting, that is not cooperating, that is not helping, or of our education, our parents, our siblings, people around us. I have this neighbor, or the school, or my job, or you can always usually this self-pity, you see the source of your problem outside of you. It's those people that are blamed, not you. And even if it's you, you don't know how to handle it. You don't know how to take care of this. You don't know what to do with this. So to cope with this, to take care of this, the best would... Now, let's understand a little bit. These kind of feelings could be sometimes addicting. You just wallow in misery, and it makes you stuck in your misery. You don't progress from there, and could be a problem. If it's in a relationship between you and your spouse, so you're the victim, okay? He's the aggressor. It's his fault. You're considerate, you're trying, you're giving it all, but he abuses me. Okay? You try your best to prove that you're good and he is the bad, instead of to keep the wholeness of the family, to keep the love in the family, to keep whatever you have there. And it takes so much energy of you and time, and your time too, whenever you keep trying to prove that you're the good and he's the bad, because your motivation goes down. instead of really dealing with the real problems, with the real challenges in life, you tend to eat more. You go to the kitchen, you open the refrigerator, you gain weight. Or excessive shoppings, because you have to keep yourself busy, so this relaxes you, I guess, a little bit more. Or you get into the social networks and trying to see, oh, so they went to this vacation and they have this new house, and she bought this jewelry, and you keep being envying, okay, and it doesn't do any good to you. Self-pity doesn't serve you. Okay, it's the opposite. So, good thing would be, to either to be active, start working out, to take out all this energy out of you, go to the gym, do things. Sometimes volunteer, helping other people would help, because once you're meaningful to other people, once you're not thinking constantly about yourself, once you see that other people go through other struggles too, it makes you feel a little bit better about yourself. And then take responsibility. We try not to take responsibility. We try to blame others. Once you take responsibility on your life, ownership on your life, you will see how circumstance will change. So, of course, I'll come back to what people are supposed to do to get out of it, but let's go back to Osnat. How did she see herself? You look at the mirror, what do you see? You see a girl that comes from a terrible home, parents abandoned you, rejected you, okay? And so,
It's not her fault. I feel better.
of course it's not her fault, but no, that's what she could see, I say. But she decided to see something else. She decided to see this charming princess that getting married to this charming prince. Okay? Instead of calling herself a son, a disaster, or what did we say before? Calamity and tragedy, she called herself Osnat. What are the other letters that we have in the word Osnat? At Nes. You're a miracle. And if you think yourself as a miracle, no, you're not thinking as yourself as a disaster or as a tragedy. You're a miracle. We tend to focus on the small negative things that we have here and there in life, instead of focusing on the good, enlarging it, and being happy with this. It's not that I'm trying to tell you ignore the bad. No. But focus, try to pay attention on the good. And you have so much good. And everyone has so much good. Yeah? So, it says that when Potiphar wanted to kill Yosef because his wife, Zulaicha, was complaining that he harassed her, she went secretly to her father. To Potiphar. And she told him, she swore to him, that she's telling the truth. She told him exactly what happened, that it was Zulaicha that was trying to seduce Yosef, and it wasn't Yosef, it wasn't his fault. And it says, Hashem said, Chayaich, I swear, in a way, Ho'il v'at limadet zchut al Yosef, you spoke in favor of Yosef, Shvatim she'ani ma'amin mimeno, al yadechem ba'im. The tribes that are going to come out of him are going to come through you. Okay? So this is the blessing, this is something that she got. So Osnat and Yosef are getting married. In a way, if you think about this, two young kids that life was so hard on them, that were betrayed by their family, rejected by them, the family estranged them, okay? They went through humiliation, they went through abuse. It's a very depressing match, no? Two people that are coming from broken homes. What do you think is going to happen? Or what kind of miracle is going to get to be there? Huh?
The have a lot in common.
They have a lot in common, yeah. But still, two negatives can make one plus, right? So, so they saw things different. You know what's the letters of Yosef represent? What is the other letters? If you play with the letters, what is Yosef in Hebrew?
To add, right? To add one more.
When Rachel gave birth to Yosef, she said, Asaf Hashem et irpati, veYosef li Hashem ben acher. Nachon, to add. But what is Yosef?
So,
Lo. Pius. Pius in Hebrew means reconcile. Was Yosef upset at Hashem for the circumstance or on his brothers for being sold to slavery? He reconciled with Hashem. He was fine with this. He understood that Hashem has a huge plan. We don't see this plan. We don't know the whole plan. He knew that Hashem had a plan for him. And once there's a plan, there's a mission. And he was sent in a mission to do something. What did his father say? His father called him and he said, Lech re'eh shlom achecha. Go and seek for your brother's welfare. His father sent him for a mission. Go do peace with your brothers. So he's in a mission now. He understood that he's in a mission. And when he met his brothers later, and he introduced himself to them, it says, Hashem send me here in front before you to provide for you. There was a plan. Okay, the Am Israel, the Jewish nation, was supposed to go to Egypt. They could go there in chains, Yaakov, in chains, like prisoners. But he could go there with a royal carriage that Yosef sent him with. And so they were supposed to be in Egypt. But the way that it was done, Yosef was sent there before, prepared everything for them, so they could settle there easily. So there was a plan. And Yaakov, and Hashem sent me with this. He says even more than that. Atem chashavtem, you thought bad about this, but Hashem, or me, I think good about this. And once I thought good about whatever happened to me, I saw only good in it. So Yosef was not wallowing in his misery. Yeah, of course, he could be so upset and furious and angry. He didn't think of this. And he tries to appease his brothers. Appease is another word for pious. He's trying to appease his brothers. Don't be upset, he tells them. Don't be sad. There's a reason for everything. Okay? And I'm not upset at you. Let's appease one another. Let's live in peace. When Yaakov died, the brothers were afraid that Yosef is going to avenge. Now he's going to avenge. And Yosef starts crying and he tells them, don't you believe me that I believe in this with all my heart inside me too. I'm here, okay, to be friends with you, not to be against you. And Osnat believes in this. She has these insights too. She's like her husband, She's appeasing, she's reconciling, she's good with everything. She doesn't hold grudge, she doesn't have any of those bad feelings inside her. Sometimes you're thinking, maybe this marriage is a mistake. Maybe I made a mistake. The mistake of my life marrying him. Don't think like this. Think that you're in a mission. And once you feel that you're in a mission, you're going to change, you're acting differently. And God forbid, even if a woman was supposed to be divorced, and she's divorced, don't think, maybe it was a mistake, it was already done. Okay? No. Maybe this will lead you to another relationship, to another mission, okay, where you're going to fulfill yourself there even more. Sometimes this child is breaking your heart. Maybe he is there to shape you a little bit, you know? This is what our kids are for. You have an annoying neighbors. Maybe you have to deepen your avodat hamidot, working on your quality traits to become a better person. I don't know, shidduch was cancelled from some reason, okay? Bezat Hashem, you're going to get a better one, yeah? There is no occurrence in the world. It just happened. En mikre, we say in Hebrew. Mikre, otiyot, the same letters of rak me Hashem. Everything is from Hashem. Hashem pays attention to the most smallest details you won't believe. There was this poor man that lived in a small town, yeah? Never had money. It was so hard for him to provide to his family. He decided that he wants to go to the big city. He's going to go to the capital city, and Bezat Hashem, over there's richer people, and hopefully will able to help him and support him or something. That's what he was thinking. So once he came to the big city, he was astonished. He was shocked to see those huge buildings, the squares, the gardens, the palace of the king, you know, and all the beautiful sights that you see, and he keeps asking whoever he meets, so what is this for, and how long, and how big is the palace, and how many entrances he has, and where this leads to, and people saw that he asking too much questions. They informed him to the security, to the police. They suspect him as being a spy. They took him to prison. As much as he was pleading and asking and crying, nothing helped. They took him to court, and over there they decided it's a national security thing, and with national security you're not taking any risks. They decided to hang him, so everyone will see that you're not asking questions, and you're not being a spy and stuff like that. So as he leaves the court, they direct him to a carriage that will take him to the gallows. He looks at the carriage and he says, "A carriage? For me? I was never in a carriage." And then as he goes to the carriage, he sees that the seats are padded with velvet. He says, "Padded seats in the carriage? You know, my people in my town are going to die from envy that I'm sitting in such a carriage." What do you think? They will die from envy? They'll nod their heads and say, "Misken, you know, where are you going? You're going to die now." They're going to make fun of him. They're not going to nod their head on him. What it says in the parasha, when the brothers are selling Yosef, it says, "V'hinei orchat Ishmaelim," a caravan, a convoy of Arabs coming from Gilad. Ugmalehem, their camels are carrying nechot, vatzori, valot. Nachot, spices, tzori, balsam, lot, lotus. Good things that smell good. And on the place, the Medrashim say, the commentaries say, usually the Arabs, they carry only petroleum and tar and some things that smell very, very bad. But once Yosef came, you know, they pick up Yosef, they carried only these spices. Why? What does it show? I'm sitting on a padded carriage. Really? That one will make you happy? People are going to feel envy at you? What does it mean they carried? Who cares that they're carrying now? Yosef keep thinking of the misery, of the bad fortune that came upon him. He's not thinking about the padded carriage now. But so why did Hashem did that? And did Yosef notice that they are carrying perfumes instead of tar? Yes. Yosef did notice it. And thanked Hashem for this. And because he saw the light in the dark tunnel, he saw the kindness of Hashem in there, Because of this, he turned the judgment that was on him into mercy from Hashem. Because this Ishmaelim, they sold him to Potiphar, which was the minister of the king. And then he was in charge of the house of Potiphar for a while. And then, even though when he was thrown to the jail, he was in charge of all the prisoners in there, and he was trying to do only good there. And from there, he became second to the king. So once you look at the good, instead of focusing on the negative, Hashem does miracles too. So I want to tell you even more how when Hashem, when there's a divine providence, when there's a shgacha pratit, it goes to the details. Sometimes it's scary how to the details it goes. So this is a story about a couple by the name Spitzer. They were waiting 10 years to get pregnant. Didn't have children for all this time. And after 11 years, Baruch Hashem blessed them with quintuplets. 5 kids in one shot. 5 kids. Now you understand that a family that all of a sudden has 5, and as is, they were not really rich people, they became very needy. They needed anything, any help, any money. Financially, it's hard, 5 kids all of a sudden. So there was this old woman by the name Mrs. Gordon that lived next to them. It's a story from Florida. Lived next to them. And she was wealthy. She was a good-hearted woman. And she was trying to help them as much as she could. She bought them diapers, she bought them food for Shabbat, she bought them clothing for the baby, a carriage, a nursing, whatever you need for the baby, for the mother, for the family. She kept buying and buying. And one day she said to herself, I want to go and visit this family. I keep sending stuff, but I want to visit them and see them once. So she came to her house, she knocked on the house, and as she opened the door, she was led to the living room. In the living room, she saw a picture, and she almost passed out. And the woman, the one that gave birth, she didn't understand what excited her so much. What happened? She asked her, gave her some water. How can I help you? What happened to you? Why? She told her, this is your mother? She said, yes. She said, I owe my life to your mother. I owe her everything. She said, what do you mean? So she told her, in time of World War II, I was a prisoner in the concentration camp of Bergen-Belsen. And I was a teenager by that time. We were a group of girls from the age of 14 to 16. The whole, our camp, this is what it was. Teenage girls. And even though we were far from the family and we had this not easy circumstance, we were trying to keep mitzvot as possible. Hanukkah was approaching. And we wanted to light candles for Hanukkah. We didn't know how. So everyone used to get a small portion of margarine each and every day. So we kept it. We didn't use it. We didn't eat, to have those margarines. And then from our prisoners' clothing, we ripped some of the hem, and we had some thread, so we made some wigs from this, but we didn't know where to put it into. So we decided to sneak into the kitchen and to take some potatoes to put it into a potato peel. Now, there was always guards next to the kitchen because they didn't want people to go into the kitchen. And they spied and they realized that 5 minutes of the 24 hours, there's no guard. Between 12 midnight till 12:05, there's no guard there. And these 5 girls, she was among them, Mrs. Gordon, decided to sneak into the kitchen to take those potatoes. They did that, but unfortunately were caught. All of them were caught, 5 girls. The Nazi was so upset. You dared to get into the kitchen? We're going to show you The next day, they put them in front of everyone, and they said that they were going to hang them in front of everyone. So, still that evening, when he told them that he's going to do it the next day, they were thinking what to do. Now, they had this a girl that was a prisoner in that camp too, but she had privileges because she was a translator. She knew languages, and the Nazis gave her a duty, a mission to hear all kind of different foreign radio stations, to hear what the enemy is doing, and to report it to them. And because of that, they gave her own cabin there, and her own different other privileges that they didn't get. So they went to her. It was dark. The cabin was after midnight, dark. But then they saw outside the cabin, from behind where the woods are, there's a little light and some singing that they hear. So they went there, and she lit the first candle, and she was singing most too. And she was Jewish, of course. And they come to her, and they felt, encouraged by the fact that she's Jewish. Maybe she's going to help us. Ask her, please, you have, they listen to you. Please talk on behalf of us so that they won't kill us tomorrow. She was so upset at them. She chased them away, and she started to rebuke them and screamed at them. She didn't want to talk to them. They felt bad. They went back to their huts, whatever, waited for the morning, and knew that in the morning they will be hanged. So in the morning, they gathered the whole camp. They're all looking at them. And then they put them on these 5 chairs. They were standing on these 5 chairs, put this rope around their neck, and those executioners, they were waiting for the order. They would kick their zeh, and that's going to be the end of them. At that moment, this girl is came to the commander and whispered something in her ears. She was very emotional. She was so excited. The commander hears her, and he don't like what she tells him. I guess, we don't know exactly, she said that he must release them, and if not, I don't know what she's going to do. I don't know exactly what she said. So the commander gave an order to release them. And this Miss Gordon tells the one that gave birth, she told her, your mother saved our life. Right afterwards, the war ended, and we didn't have a chance. I didn't have a chance to go and thank her for saving our lives, or saving my life at least. And now I see your mother, and now I understand why I'm helping you so much. This is when the one that gave birth started to shake and shiver. And she tells her, hello, what happened to you? She gives her a cup of water. Hello? She tells her, a day before I gave birth, I dreamt of my mother. My mother came in my dream, and she said, 5 for 5.
Wow.
This is Ashgacha Pratit, divine providence that goes to the details. It's unbelievable how Hashem conducts this world. 5 for 5. Unbelievable. So, Osnat, it says that כתוב בפרשת ויחי, ויהי אחרי הדברים האלה, ויאמר ליוסף, somebody told Yosef, הנה אביך חולה, your father is sick, and he wants to bless you, or go to him for a blessing. Who said that? No one says who said that, and the commentary said that Osnat was the one that informed her husband Yosef that his father is sick. Apparently, being in Egypt, she was the one that took care of her grandfather, of her father-in-law, of Yaakov. And when she saw that he's not feeling well, quickly she sent to call Yosef so that he should get the blessing of his father. And when so he blessed, and then it says afterwards, it says, "Mi ele," Yaakov for a second doesn't understand who are these kids, who are these boys. And Yosef tells him, בניי הם אשר נתן לי אלוקים בזה. מה זה בזה? These are my children. מה זה? He showed him, for a second, Yaakov didn't know if these kids are kosher kids, because it's in the middle of Egypt. It's a very contaminated place. Who knows who he got married with? Yosef showed him the talisman. And he tells him, she's a kosher girl. You wrote this talisman. And he showed him the shtak tuba, that he got married in a kosher way and everything is okay. And this is the children. You see, even in this corrupted and contaminated place, Osnat was able to educate her children, to raise her children to become pure Jewish children. It's not easy. It's easy to be next to Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov and to be righteous. It's not easy to be in Egypt, when you don't have anyone around you, no righteous person to look up to. And Yosef wasn't by the king all the time. Who raised him? Who raised the children, Menashe and Ephraim, if not Osnat? So, Osnat also kept his secret. You don't understand. The brothers, the tribes made a swear that no one is allowed to speak about this selling, even afterwards. And so, Osnat knew about that. She never revealed it to anyone. Okay. Also, after she kept her husband's dignity. He was the one that revealed it to his brothers, and she was by his side all the time. She was this woman that he could trust her. She was this woman that was like an eshet chai, ozevet, like leaves her father's house and the conducts of her father's family, and gets attached to her husband and cleaves to him. It says in Tehillim, it says, where did I write it? שמעי בת וראי ועתי אוזנך ושכחי עמך ובית אביך. She was this princess that left her father's house and went and became completely attached to Yosef and to his family. And this is one of the praises that we have by Eshet Chayil. Batach balev ba'ala, he trusts her, she leaves everything behind, and she gets acquainted with her husband's family, with their the way that they set the table, the way that they sit on their Shabbat table, the way that they do stuff, not only whatever she knew in her parents' house. And this was Osnat. So now there are some people that I want to go back to whatever we started to say before, that they don't want to take responsibility. So you say to yourself, I don't get a promotion because of my boss. I got late to work because of traffic, or because of my child, or because of the school, or because of whatever. Okay? You blame the government, you blame the financial situation, the fact that you don't have enough money, the fact that your neighbor or your friend is on your nerve, or whatever. We adopted to ourselves these feelings of, I'm a victim, what can I do? And when it's I'm a victim, what can I do? I cannot really do anything about this. And you don't want to do anything about this. So I can't, it's too hard for me, it's impossible, I have no power of will. And usually other people are luckier than us. Other people have bad intentions, negative intentions towards us. And you know something, when you're so much into your misery, you have no patience to hear other people's problems, because you're interested in your own. And we are trying to get out of it. So what do we do? People that have low self-esteem, it looks to them Like, it's me, what do you want? I cannot really change. Or this is my husband, well, what do you want? That's it, that's what I got. And they're missing self-confidence. The self-confidence has three components. Number one, self-esteem. Again, when you're looking in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see yourself as capable of winning the situation, being on top of this, being in control? You think to yourself, what other people thinking of me? Instead of what do I think about myself? Mm-hmm. Number two, you don't accept yourself. You don't accept yourself, and it's a problem because everyone has pluses and minuses. No one is perfect. Once you know that no one is perfect, okay, maybe it's going to be easier for you to cope with this. Okay, don't try to be perfect. You yourself. Okay, because you're in a stage now that you cannot really do it. And then believe in yourself that you will be able to do it. That's very important. So how do we do it? Number one, we take responsibility. Okay? Your life, you're responsible for your life, no one else. Imagine to yourself that somebody has a chronic pain, a certain disease, something, yeah, God forbid. Who can improve it for you? Who can change the quality of your life? The government? Your family? Your financial situation?
You.
Huh?
You have to learn how to adapt.
Exactly. So it's not your friends, it's not your spouse, okay? It's not the medical system in your town or that place. It's not the weather. And it's not the government, it's you. So you take responsibility of yourself. And number two, focus on the positive. You pay attention. Once you're going to focus on positive, you will see yourself. You're going to pay attention that there's good things that happen in your life. Learn emunah. It's a process. It takes time. Baruch Hashem, hearing emunah daily every day helps so much. You know, you don't. I don't know if 5 years ago you thought of emunah like you're thinking today, like Hashem is on top of everything. Hashem is in charge and everything is for the best and whatever. Now, change your, instead of I deserve it, think of thank you Hashem for giving me. Yeah? The little that I have, thank you for that too. Okay? Having gratitude. We take for granted the fact that we breathe, the fact that we walk, the fact that we're able to cook and to provide and to do millions of stuff. We take it for granted. See other people, how they struggle with this. Don't take it for granted. Every time you wake up in the morning, you say, Modeh ani, thank you Hashem. That echazat bi nishmati bechemla. What does it mean bechemla? With compassion. Hashem, Rabbi Monatecha, you believe in me that I'm able to do it. Yeah? So, this is what you think of. Set yourself goals. Okay? Every day, small step, not big steps. If you want to make a change, you cannot make change in big steps. Small steps every time. Start to look at good things inside you. Okay? Today I was able to do this. Today I was able to do that. My mother came to help me today. I don't know, something. Okay, you're going to leave your comfort zone. You have to. Because if you want to have small changes, you have to do certain steps. And slowly, you'll be able to do it. Have a clean language. Decide that no matter what, you're going to have a clean language towards yourself and towards people around you. Okay? Very important. to have pure thoughts and pure speech also. This is how you respect yourself also when you're speaking clean. Don't judge yourself. Don't criticize yourself too much. Okay? Don't focus on disadvantages. Okay? Forgive yourself, like Yosef was reconciling, like he was appeasing. Okay? You try to also forgive yourself. The more you accumulate all kind of, baggage, emotions, this and that, bad things on you, it's going to be hard for you. It's going to be too heavy for you. Sometimes they mention here also, choose which people you want to have in your life. Okay, you have a very, I don't say, sometimes the mother-in-law is a big burden. Sometimes even your own mother is a big burden. But you could, let's say you have a friend that instead of encouraging you, she discourages you. So you see how she pulls you down. You see how she makes you not being happy. So don't be so much in touch. Don't be in touch with her constantly all the time. The less these people put you into stress. These people they make you sad. These people make you look negative. Don't be in touch with these people. Help other people, like we said before. Once you volunteer, you see that you're needed, you see that you're meaningful, you see yourself afterwards, you say, Baruch Hashem, I did something good today, you feel good about yourself. And have this affirmation. Sometimes this affirmation is very, very important. Because when it's good to you, everyone in your family, they're happy. Okay? Because when it's bad to you, everyone suffers. And when the queen is happy, there's tranquility in the kingdom, usually. Never put the keys of your happiness in someone else's pocket. Okay? If you want to succeed in life, no one can stop you. But if you don't want to succeed, no one can help you. Very, very important. Sometimes you think that the grass of the neighbors is greener. No, the grass is greener where you water it. Okay? A strong woman doesn't play like she's a victim. She doesn't show misery and she doesn't blame anyone. She stands tall and she copes with difficulties that she has. She doesn't forget how much she's worth. And don't associate sometimes silence of people or quiet, and a woman is quiet. Don't associate it with weakness. When a smart woman, she doesn't plan all kind of important moves out loud. You're not supposed to say it. You're doing, and then people will see, and then people see how smart you are. Then they see how strong you are. When I look back at my life, says one of the quotes, I see pain, mistakes, and heartache. When I look in the mirror, I see strength, lesson learned, and pride in myself. This is supposed to be our attitude. I want to finish with something that says in the parasha. It says when the tribes they threw Yosef into the pit. It says v'aborek en bo mayim. The pit was empty. There was no water inside. And the commentary says water there was no, but snakes and scorpions there were, and they wanted those snakes and scorpions in a way to kill Yosef. So there is no such a place, there is no such a thing as an empty place. Your brain cannot be that it's empty from thoughts. There is no such a thing. It depends what you fill it in with. Good thoughts or bad thoughts. Negative or positive. Everyone is thirsty, is a needy, okay? But with what? With spring water that gives you life? With positive contents that cheer you up, that sprout inside you stuff, or God forbid with destructive things, okay, that despair you, that makes you feel envy and jealousy, that puts you into sadness and anxiety. You don't want to get there. So this is our mission. Our mission is to be like Osnat. And Bezat Hashem, once you see only the good in everything, Bezat Hashem, life will be good forever and ever, Bezat Hashem. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you. All the best. לשיעור לעילוי נשמת father, רחמים בן יעל, ולרפואה שלמה of my mother, ישועה בת אסתר, בעזרת השם. כן.